Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us. This is the BMC, Body Mind Centering Study Group number 7. Today's date is November 7th, 2025. We have illustrious people with us today, so glad to see you, and we'll start talking about the voice. What did you learn yesterday, and what are your questions?
For me, it was a really good reminder of how much articulation there is, like all the way from the little tops of the hyoid bone that can turn to the back of the cricoid, that ring, signet ring in the throat, and how what holds the vocal folds. It was just a lot of articulation reminder. And then I do have a question when the time is right. Anything you know about apnea?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Sabrina, do you have anything you want to say or questions, or what did you think about class yesterday?
Yeah, I get very curious about the hyoid bone and its location, and I kind of am feeling it more towards like the chin and the jaw area. And I'm just curious if it's like a little higher up or if it's more towards the center of the throat.
So we'll go over that. Are there any specific other questions? We'll go over the hyoid.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we start with the hyoid? We'll start with palpating the hyoid. So you're going to grab just under your chin in the back, and you can tell you're on it because it wiggles side to side. So when you say the middle, it's not down here in the middle if you mean this distance in the middle here, but it's up here. And some people have a lot of glands around there, tissue. I have a lot of glands and tissue around there. So you have to kind of push that out of the way and then swing it side to side. The lymph nodes for me there. In fact, I went to a laryngologist or ENT to have him feel that tissue because I wasn't certain that was just normal tissue, but he assured me it was. So, and then let's go to a little bit lower. Oh, there's Andrew. Hi, Andrew. We have Annie with us. This is Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Welcome.
Now, if you go down a notch, feel your thyroid cartilage. Okay. If you talk or say something, it'll go up and down.
Where are we going?
Up and down, up and down.
Up and down, up and down, up and down.
You can feel that notch, right?
Uh-huh.
So now go around to the sides. And it's actually quite wide, at least for me. Mine feels pretty wide. So stay on the thyroid and swing that side to side. Okay, you're going to walk down your thyroid, and the next horizontal ring is your cricoid. So swallow and feel that all moving. If you need to take some water to swallow, that would help. You should feel the thyroid cartilage go up and then down. Now it's bony, so you have to have a bony touch with your hands at this point. If you go softer, you can feel the tissue around the throat. If you go to the sides, you can feel the muscle, the sternocleidomastoid muscle that comes from the mastoid process down to your clavicle. And that has two parts. One is right here, where it attaches, and another part is a little further back. So you have two attachment points there. And then on top of that, you have the platysma. You make a funny face, or you'll get that sticking out of the platysma. So what happens? What attaches to the hyoid?
Isn't the hyoid attached to the tongue?
The tongue is attached to the hyoid.
Yeah, because the hyoid isn't actually attached to any bones or anything, just tissue.
Right.
Yeah.
And so put your thumbs, put your one thumb and one forefinger on your hyoid, and just push your tongue up and down and see what happens to your hyoid. Push it up against the roof of your mouth.
Moves.
How? Where?
It feels like it moves down and slightly forward, maybe.
When you push your tongue up, it goes up.
Oh.
So see if you can feel that's pumping up and down by moving your tongue up against a hard palate and releasing your tongue. And that makes sense, right? Because it's attached to the hyoid. It's going to pull it up and then release it down.
Right.
Now, what happens when you swallow? Where's your tongue going when you swallow?
Yeah.
In my training, the tongue is supposed to touch a quarter of an inch behind the front teeth when you swallow. And that's what I teach people when they have problems with TMJ. And when you swallow, tell me what you feel. If your tongue is going on behind the front teeth, your hyoid should lift up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finish your swallow, your tongue drops down, so your hyoid bone would drop down.
Yeah.
Yeah, up and down. So what happens to your hyoid bone when you sing? Or what happens, let's drop down, let's talk about the thyroid cartilage. What happens to your thyroid cartilage when you sing?
Doesn't it come around the back and closer? Like abduction? No, abduction?
I'm not asking about the vocal folds. I'm asking you about the bone. What happens to the bone? So you could put your finger there and you could start singing. You could also, can you voluntarily move it up and down? You push your tongue up and down. You can see that? So what happens if you start low and you sing higher? Oh, oh, Go ahead and sing. How about octave? Go from low to higher octave. See if you can no, so it goes, has to move. I'm not going to tell you what are you feeling when you're singing low notes, and what are you feeling when you're singing high notes?
Mine goes way down on the low notes, and then it goes up on the high notes.
Right.
Okay.
You guys mind taking off your sound? Unmute yourself so I can hear everybody's sound.
Is mine unmuted?
No, yours is fine. I can hear you, but I can't hear the others.
Okay.
Charlotte, can I hear you?
Ooh. Yeah, it feels like low, it goes down, and high, it goes up. There's this.
Can you make a louder sound so we can all hear you?
Like oh, down, oh, up. Yeah, feels like it does that.
Okay, yeah. Sabrina, can we hear you? I didn't hear anything.
Were you able to hear me? I bet.
No.
That's interesting. I guess my pitch was a very, very soft.
So you need to push or bring more air out. If you want to say, no, I'd say push more air out so you can make more production. Intensify.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't practiced much of this like sounding. It's like one of like my first times doing this stuff.
Oh, isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah. You really have to come forward with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can just like sense how the higher bones go slightly forward and up when I do a higher pitch, and I can feel how it just like it vibrates. It makes like this like micro movement with the higher bone. So I'm like, very interested in that like micro
Are you saying
movement inside
hyoid
of
or thyroid? You think, which bone are you saying?
the hyoid bone with H. Yeah, the hyoid
Okay,
bone.
so but we're thinking about the thyroid, yeah, when it moves, because it's the yeah. So it's not here,
Yeah.
but it's up here. Yes, you can feel that little. Can you feel the divot? And then can you do an octave? And then go an octave lower.
Yeah.
Andrew, can you do some octaves? Yes, no? Andrew, I was asking if you could sing.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Annie. I can't. I have a fan going on in here.
Oh,
It's hard
Andrew,
to
that's
hear.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, great. Let's take a moment to look inside our throats and see what we see inside. If you have a mirror, or you can use your phone. Take your phone and take a picture. So open your mouth.
Whoops. Oh, I turn around.
And I would say put your flash on.
Turn flashing.
Close your eyes. Oh, that works. Now let's look at the anatomy here. Okay, if you show your mouth, let's see your mouth.
My tongue is in the way. I'm gonna take another one.
Okay, do another one, Annie. Hold your picture up once you got it. Oh, good. There we go.
Oh.
So I want you to see if you can inhibit your tongue so it stays flat and lift the palate, lift the uvula back. Do you know what the uvula is? Yeah. So you can get a picture with your
Yes.
uvula elevated.
Oh.
This is
Can you,
interesting. I cannot get my tongue very flat.
you can add your finger if your fingers are clean, and you can push your tongue down and see if you can retract it. I'm going to get my flashlight so I can demonstrate better. You can wiggle your tongue side to side and up and down.
Hmm.
I'm going to pin myself so you can see. Did you guys get your tongue down? Uh-uh.
So you're taking the tongue down as you lift the soft palate. Is that what you're wanting?
Yeah, but I just want you to get a flat, get your tongue flat. Doesn't matter about the palate, just to get your tongue flat. Like you're at the dentist's office and they stick that spatula down your throat and you have to say ah.
Oh, oh, oh.
So now I want you to identify some of the structures in there. I'm going to pin myself.
Oh yeah, now I can see it.
So I'll put my, let's see, what can I put on there? I'll try putting a toothpick there. I want you to tell me what this is.
Uh, the hard palate?
I'm moving something up and down
Oh,
in
you
the
That
back of my
the
throat.
epiglottis you're touching all the way
No,
back?
no, that's the
uvula. You're moving your soft
uvula.
palate.
You,
Your soft palate.
Uh-huh. Can you move your uvula up and down? If you're about to gargle. Oh, when you're gargling, when you're singing and you really want to make a big sound and use your whole cavity, you pull your uvula up. Ah!
Oh, yeah, yours really moves, Sarah.
Yeah. What is posterior to the pharyngeal arches back there and the uvula? What do you see behind that? Ah, right there. I put my finger back. There's a bump. What is that bump?
Oh,
Get my skeleton, a little bit of my skeleton. You know what that bump is?
not sure where you're studying this.
I can feel the side bumps on, my upper jaw.
Uh-huh. What do you see here?
The spine.
What is this?
That's your skull, your
Occipital.
atlas, occiput area.
Yes. And what is this?
The atlas.
The atlas. And it is the back of the atlas, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the back of the atlas coming through the mouth.
Hmm.
Can you find yours? It's pretty amazing that you could touch your atlas.
Oh,
You have to inhibit your gag
yeah.
reflex.
Yeah.
It's pretty, it's low, is it low?
I don't know exactly how you think of low.
Mm-hmm. Like if I go to the bumps of my jaw that I can feel on each side,
Oh, it's below you mean the jaw, like the TMJ?
from inside, I can feel my back teeth.
Uh-huh.
I can feel each side where the bone comes.
So you can play with that and see if you can actually, I think it's remarkable if you put your fingers on the outside here under ears and make sure your posture is good. You feel these little bumps on just under your ears.
Mm-hmm.
That's the side of your neck, the side of your atlas. Your atlas. And if you push one side, it turns your head. If you come down a little bit, you'll get onto the axis. It's clearer with the axis. The axis is where you say no, and the atlas is where you say yes. So here's rocking of your head in a yes position with the condyles touching the sockets of the atlas, and you have this yes motion. At the atlas, you have the no motion. You turn your head, you rotate here. And what is this called? This prominence?
That's your dens.
That's your dens. So your dens is sticking up from your atlas to provide a pivot point for your neck to turn around. See if you can find that. A counter rotation. So that movement isn't taking place up at the top. It's taking place at C2. Your head is going along for the ride. But at the top, you have the flexion and extension of your skull over these little condyles of the atlas. I don't know if you've ever looked at that before in great detail. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah,
This is a huge model, so
it's helpful.
yeah, it's helpful. So now if you go inside, golly gee, I'm wondering something. Well, if you go inside your throat's in the front of this. Your esophagus is in front. Okay. And that's what I feel like I'm touching with my finger right there.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so now if we look
I
at
found it. I found it.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
You want to show us?
I don't think I can show you, but I'm just starting to find it. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's great. That's a big discovery.
Ah,
Amazing.
I know. This is really fun, Sarah.
Yeah. So now let's find the hyoid again, wiggling side to side. And we have the bigger horns at the ends of the hyoid on either side. And then the lesser horns are in closer together on the hyoid. And if you do a big tilt of your head, you're tilting around the greater horns of the hyoid. And then if you go a little bit closer, you'll feel a little more delicate tilting. The Indian dance with the fingers. And Bonnie talked about how it ties into the perception. So if you tilt this way, what are you hearing? What do you hear? And you tilt this way, what do you hear over here? Or maybe you see something. Play with those tiny movements. And try to really pinpoint the axis where the action takes place on the hyoid. Okay, that doesn't take you all the way into side tilt. The lesser horns will just take you in a small tilt. Backing up takes you to a bigger tilt. See if you could discriminate between the lesser horns and the greater horns. And now what happens when you are whispering to your vocal cords? What happens to your vocal cords? And what happens when you open your vocal cords? Let's see. Let's play a little video here that I have lined up. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go into advanced. I'm going to go into portion of screen. I'm going to go into share.
Can you hear that or not?
Nothing yet.
Jeez, let's see. Let's hang on. Let me see where I can close this off. Oh, here we are. Okay, so you can see that?
No,
You can't see that?
no, not yet.
There we
Can you
go.
see that?
There we go.
Can you hear her talk or not?
No.
Okay, here we try. So you see here's a real throat. Here are the vocal cords here.
Wow.
Talking about when they come together, you make a certain, that stops the breath coming through. When you open, the breath comes through.
Vibrations that result are how we make sound. These little white lines are your vocal cords. They come together as air escapes your lungs, and the vibrations that result are how we make sound. These little white lines are your vocal cords. They come together as air escapes your lungs, and the vibrations that result are how we make sound.
Can anybody tell me what this structure is? What's this structure?
These little white lines are your vocal cords. They come together as air.
Yes, the epiglottis. Who said that?
Annie.
Annie, that's your epiglottis.
Air escapes your lungs, and the vibrations that result are how we make sound.
All right.
These little white lines are your vocal cords.
Amazing, right?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Another one. Here we go with this one.
Voice and speech. Every day, many of us rely on voice and speech to communicate. Let's explore the processes of breathing, voicing, and speaking. What is voice? Your voice is as unique as your fingerprint. Voice or vocalization is the sound produced by humans and other vertebrates using the lungs and the vocal folds in the larynx. The larynx, sometimes called the voice box, is the primary organ of voice production. Voice and speech are not the same. An infant crying or an adult laughing are examples of vocalization or voice production. What is speech? People typically express thoughts, feelings, and ideas orally to one another through a series of complex movements that alter the basic tone created by voice into specific identifiable sounds called speech. Before we get into more detail about how voice and speech are produced, let's explore how we breathe. The first step is taking air into the lungs. The large dome-shaped muscle called the diaphragm, which is located directly below the lungs, contracts and expands vertically, lifting the rib cage and allowing the lungs to fill with air. After the lungs bring oxygen into the body, they remove carbon dioxide through breathing out. When breathing out, the diaphragm and rib cage return to their resting positions, forcing the air out of the lungs. How do we produce voice? There are several parts of the body that play a role in voice production. Vocal folds are two bands of tissue that are positioned opposite each other in the larynx. The larynx is located between the base of the tongue and the top of the passageway to the lungs, known as the trachea. When you are not speaking, the vocal folds are open so that you can breathe. Voice is generated by airflow from the lungs. When it's time to speak, the pressure below the larynx increases until it blows the vocal folds apart. Hello. Hello. The vocal folds are first forced apart at the bottom, followed by the top, and air is forced through the very narrow opening. The opening between the vocal folds is called the glottis, which opens during breathing and narrows during voice production. The pressure forces the air through the vocal folds, which creates a suction as we exhale. This suction pulls the vocal folds together at the bottom, followed by the top. When the air from the lungs blows past the vocal folds at a high speed, the vocal folds vibrate. In order to produce typical loud speech, the vocal folds and larynx must vibrate normally. How do we produce speech? Speech is produced by precisely coordinated muscle actions in the head, throat, chest, mouth, nasal cavity, and abdomen. Speech development is a gradual process that requires years of practice. During this process, a child learns how to regulate these muscles to produce understandable speech. Different parts of our nose and mouth are carefully positioned to create speech sounds. We position the velum, tongue, jaw, and lips in reference to permanent parts of our vocal tract, such as the roof of our mouth. Hello. Hello. As you can see, the process of producing voice and speech is complex and plays an important role in our daily life. For more information on voice and speech, visit the NIDCD website at www.nidcd.nih.gov.
It's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so let's stop this for a second. Annie had a question about sleep apnea. And we might just lie down on our back and feel what happens to our tongue. And if we were huh? Say something. And see what happens when you fall asleep, more or less. Or just lie there and see what happens with your tongue. Or maybe you already have ideas what happens to your tongue.
Wow.
So you'll get really quiet, and in a few minutes, I'll ask you to express your experience. Okay, give yourself another minute. Experience where your tongue is when you're lying on your back. And then I'll know when you're ready when you come back up to sitting. So does anybody here snore at night?
My
I
partner
do.
snores at night.
Your partner snores. I know I snore at night.
Mm.
So with sleep apnea, I'm going to play this little video, see if I can get this going. It's about a minute, and we'll see if this works. I'll turn off my sound. Okay, I'll close this. So I can raise the risk of obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, under diagnosing younger women.
Mhm.
Okay, there you have it. Annie, do you have a specific question so we can look at it
Well,
more?
I was just curious because Steve actually had an implant that would sort of wake him up.
Yeah.
And so he had that put in. But I was curious about if there's any further articulation of these structures that can sort of, it just feels like the tongue just gets flat in there.
Yeah, the tongue falls back, and I snore myself. So I'm going to show you what I use for my snoring.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me get it. It's not an implant. I've seen the implants. I don't know anybody, this is the first time I've heard of somebody using it. I take this special kinesio tape. I cut it up
Uh-huh.
and I put it over my mouth.
Just tape it shut.
Tape it shut.
Okay. We tried that, but it didn't seem to work so much for him.
Yeah,
He's from Missouri.
you have to get the big, this is, you know what the kinesio tape is? They use in the Olympic athletics.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is really like an inch and a half, 2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And you use this, it's a very sticky tape.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The mouse tapes are too weak.
Okay.
Oh, we could try that.
Yeah, thank you. I will definitely do that.
Okay. All right, let's get back to our vocal cords. And what happens when you pull the vocal cords together? Can you be in the mind
Sound.
of your vocal cords
Mm,
and play with drawing them together? Tell me what pitch that is, and then releasing them and tell me what happens then. I know that you may feel safer with your sound off, but it's more helpful if I could hear your sound. So if you have your mute button on, can you take your mute button off? Thank you. You could start with a low sound. You can sing, do you know the scale? Do, re, mi? Do. See everybody say do. Can you match that pitch? Do. Do, re, mi, fa.
So
Oh, la, la, ti,
La, fa, sol, la, ti, do,
oh. Sounds nice.
do, do,
do,
Do, re,
do, 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 re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do,
re, mi, fa, sol, la,
la,
ti.
ti, do, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, do,
do,
do.
re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do,
Do.
ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
Do, do,
How about just whispering? What happens when you whisper? What happens to your vocal cords when you're whispering?
They come close together.
They actually are. If you do, they
Oh,
feel
they,
like
I'm confused. I'm dyslexic in my vocal cords.
you relax in your vocal cords. I think they open out when you're whispering.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for more air breath.
Yeah. And if you pull them tight, oh, see if you can go from the range with a whisper, 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 to a lower sound. Oh,
Oh. Ooh. Just,
oh,
oh. Hmm.
That's my corniculate bodies. So the
Yeah.
cornicular cartilage is at the very top in your highest range, if you can get to the top. So now we're going from the arytenoids. When the arytenoids pull, and rotate, they pull the. This will do it. Let's see if this will do it. So here's the top. Okay, where is it? This is the tip, right? This attaches to what?
Epiglottis.
Actually, this attaches to the thyroid bone.
Oh, the thyroid. Oh,
The thyroid
okay.
bone. And what are my fingers?
Your fingers are at the
The arytenoid cartilage.
retinoid cartilage.
Retinoid cartilages. And then if I could have another little tip of it, it would be the corniculate cartilage on top of
Cartilage.
cartilage, yes. So when I externally rotate my fingers, ooh, it's hard to do that without some counter support. That stretches, that tightens the cords.
Yeah.
So they come together. Ah! And if I go down, lower down, you separate, and the tension releases on that. See if you can rotate your arytenoid cartilage and tighten so that your pitch goes up. You add the very top corniculate bodies. I don't know, I call them bodies, but corniculates. See if you can try that if it doesn't bother you. Start low. Imagine the turning of your arytenoid cartilage. It's going to abduct, turns away. All right, guys. When you go in the shower tonight, you'll have a lot to work on.
Yeah, that's true.
Come back to a gallery view. I think we've done a lot today. We went over the mechanism of the voice. We looked at the skeleton, how the head turns. We looked at the inside of our mouths, the epiglottis. We didn't look at the epiglottis so much, but we looked at the uvula and behind the uvula. And the epiglottis is that flap that falls back and covers the esophagus so that you're not going to swallow food. And there's a ligament that helps that happen.
This was great, Sarah.
Great. You learn a lot, right? Just playing with your voice.
Yeah, I'm seeing the structure,
Yeah.
and touching them.
Yeah. There's not many places. So if somebody would say, open your mouth and touch the
Right, touch your
vertebrae.
spine from the back inside.
So if you need to put some tape on your mouth and your partner doesn't mind, that's a great idea for stopping the snoring.
Yeah, I'm going to look for that special tape for sure.
You know, that's the kinesio tape.
Kinesio tape.
Yeah.
Like kinesiology.
Just like kinesiology. Let me see if I can find a picture for you.
Probably on Amazon, I guess.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Kinesio tape. Here it is, K-tape.
Okay.
Here, let me switch over to Zoom and then share. Oh, it's a portion of the screen. And here you see.
Okay.
Here it is.
You got a lot of different colors. People believe in the different colors for different reasons.
Yeah.
There's a nice book about it, which I have on my shelf. So I'll get that to show you about the tension that you put on your tape as you're applying it.
Uh-huh.
art. And some people put different stripes and you can cut strips that they put in different positions. So where is that book?
Uh-huh.
Kinesiology tape picture at the top. Let's see, you can't see this.
Oh, yeah, I can. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's
Great.
share there.
Thank you. That's good stuff. Step by
Yeah.
step. Have you used it like on your legs and stuff?
Oh, I use it with my clients. Yeah, I use it with my clients. And somebody comes in with a knee problem or
Uh-huh.
a back problem.
That looks like a great resource.
It's a great,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Kinesiology taping.
Uh-huh.
So
Thank
here
you.
on their back, on their neck, on their fingers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've got left when I was in 10th grade, I had a green fracture on my fibula. And ever since then, my left leg is so tight in the upper thigh, I'm forgetting the name of that big old tendon down the side there.
The iliotibial band.
Yeah, all the way to the knee. So I'm gonna get that book and look at that because I think the muscles just didn't spiral in the right way.
Well, maybe we could have a private session at some point and we can talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, gosh, this has been great. Thank you for your time. Now I know your website, which is good.
Thank you. I always
Mm-hmm.
get your notices too, which I love to see. And I
Good.
get your performances of the different parts of the brain.
Yeah, those are
Fight or
fun.
flight, the amygdala. You became the amygdala and danced at one of the body mind centering conferences.
Yes.
It was terrific.
That was fun. I miss our in person. It's just, hard to get around to all these places, but I sure loved it.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, honey, so much.
Oh, welcome. Nice to be with everybody. I'll reach out and touch you.
Yes.
A little
Yes.
hug.
Oh,
Thanks for coming.
yeah.
Material
Good.
tonight. I love
It
working.
was really good. I'm gonna keep playing with all this.
Yes, play with that and let me know how it goes.
Okay, I'll do
Okay?
that.
Let me know if
Yeah.
you feel in the shower.
No.
Thank you, Sarah. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Uh-huh.
you.
Take care.